Oh yes, he gave it a tickle, more than a tickle.
Dahil sa kanyang determinasyon, tibay ng puso at abot langit na talento, nakilala ang Pilipinas sa mundo sa larangan ng pole vaulting. At numero 1 bumandera ng ating watawat sa sport na yan, ang atletang si EJ Obiena. Mula sa kanyang sunod-sunod na panalo, alamin natin ang mga susunod pa niyang plano. Ang number 3 pole vaulter in the world, EJ Obiena, live na live sa Frontline sa Umaga.
Huwag na natin patagalin pa, kasama natin live dito sa studio ang pinakamahusay na pole vaulter sa bansa at sa Asia. EJ Obiena, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Finally saw you after a month that you've been around the Philippines. Kamusta naman yung homecoming mo? How's the experience so far? Ano na yung mga napuntahan mo?
Oh, it's been overwhelming. I've been everywhere and everywhere. Okay naman. So far, so good. Very new to me. And yeah.
Is this the longest that you've been home?
Yeah, in the past 5 years, yes. This is the longest, yeah.
Okay, what's the most memorable thing that you did while here in the Philippines?
Palawan with my girlfriend. I think that's probably the best time I had here. Just, yeah. Hard
The
to top
other
that.
day, you had your meet and greet, and we don't have that often. Is that the first time that you had that? And how
Yeah.
was the whole experience? Like
It was-
seeing Pinoys come to love you, come to love your sport.
I've met a lot of people that I've been talking online that I never really met, and most of them are very nice people. And I like, the community there. It was like, I thought that people are, gunahan, tutulakan. They're queuing and then they're helping the guy in front. Okay, we'll take your photo, we'll hold your bag, and this and that. Like, it was a breath of fresh air, and I love spending time with them. To be honest, I think it was, I prefer doing that than other things. And it's nice. I met this 14-year-old girl named Izzy who runs one of my, I don't know, fan account. Is that how you call it? So yeah, she's the sweetest, and like she's been sending me messages all throughout the year, and good to finally meet her.
I mean, nung Tokyo pa lang, no, it's amazing. I noticed personally the how fans are really charmed by your performance. Not just your performance, also naalala ko yung socks mo, no, nag-viral pa noon, yung mga posts mo. How do you feel about, getting this kind of attention? And rightfully so, I mean, deservingly so.
I think I'm a bit overwhelmed talaga, and yeah, it's a bit daunting. I've learned the responsibility I have now. Mm-hmm. Like, kids are following my footsteps, and like they want to imitate, and yeah, it's kind of scary, and like I need to be careful on what I say and how I carry myself. Yeah, it's a task I think I need to learn how to do.
Speaking of responsibility, the last time na nag-usap tayo, naalala ko, sa gitna pa yun ng kaguluhan dun sa mga kaso mo, etc., etc. And now, after that, we saw you bounce back strong, setting 5.94, beating the world number 1, si Mondo Duplantis. The question on everyone's mind, kahit na ang dami mong hinaharap na problema, you managed to surpass your personal best during that time frame. How do you do it?
Have a good team. Have a good group of people that make sure I can do what I do. I can train and still somehow kind of have that, that time for my training other than just, focusing on the things that's happening here. And yeah, I think that's the biggest secret, and like I wouldn't be where I'm at without them.
And during that time, we also saw you become a little bit more of a fighter, vocal fighter for athletes. How do you take that role upon you, and how do you think it plays into Philippine sports in general? Ngayon, sa pag-usbong ng mga atleta, we see a lot more people like you, like Kaloy, like Heidelin. Mas bukal na ngayon yung mga atleta.
I think it's time, that they realize the athletes are actually their own entity, and like they actually have their voice, and I think that's quite important. In any sport, the center of whatever NBA is the basketball players, and the center of track and field are the athletes, and like how I always approach it is officials are very important, and I respect them, but without the athletes, there's no official, there's no federation, there's no all of these committee that help the athletes. At the end of the day, I think the athletes is the most important thing. Of course, there's a balance into that, but yeah, that's how I
Masasabi
see
mo
it.
ba nagbabago na rin yung landscape ngayon for Philippine sports and mas nagkakaroon kahit papaano ng kapangyarihan yung mga atleta to stand up for themselves, also resources-wise. Ano na yung siguro maipapayo mo for those who also want to have a career in Philippine sports and how much the landscape has changed?
I mean, I wouldn't say kapangyarihan, but I think we have a voice now because of social media and all of this. We're allowed to express how we feel, how we're treated, or how at least how we think things should be done. So I think that's the biggest thing that is different now than back in the day. It needs to be in the paper, it needs to be in the TV, which is quite difficult for us athletes. I think it's the golden age of Philippine sports. I mean, we just got our first.
We're still in the middle of it. Kaya nga sabi ko, dapat talaga habang ito, nagpo-pole vaulting si EJ Obiena, kailangan natin talagang subaybayan ang bawat laban niya. 6 meters. Nahihit mo na ba yung height na yun sa practice? And how close are you to, to Mondo Duplantis actually beating him at that level? Kasi 5.94, natalo mo na siya. Pero yung 6 meters, ibang level yun.
In training, I haven't cleared 6 meters. It's at least for me, I think it's impossible to push yourself that hard in training with all the adrenaline pressure. But in competition, in World Championship, where I jumped 594, they had analysis of that. It was a 6-meter jump. It was just the bar was at 594. So with Mondo, I mean, Mondo is not just jumping 6 meters. He's jumping 621 now. So there's a lot of things for me to do. But for me, my goal is really just be consistent as much as I can, and really that would probably be my best weapon come Paris.
Well, you're on the right track as we've seen you. What's next for EJ Obiena? Where are you headed off to? I think in 3 days you'll be leaving the Philippines.
I'm going to Formia, back in training with my coach Vitaly and training partner Tiago Braz, and need to start my campaign for the indoor season, and need to work.
Well, it's good to see you that you're in good spirits and you get this chance to spend time with your family. Appreciate your fans. Maraming salamat po on behalf of all the athletes out there. Keep up the good work and we'll be rooting for you from here in the Philippines.
Thank you, Gretch.
Ang ating world number 3 pole vaulter, EJ Obiena.